Welcome back to Limitless Sports with Brennan and Dave. We are back after a 2-week hiatus. I recovered after my Florida trip and some other things, but we're going to recap a little bit in our personal lives, what's been going on, and then we'll talk about a lot of NFL news between some trades, the combine, what we think the Steelers are going to do, and get into some March Madness picks because Brennan's in a little bit of mourning this morning after Virginia Tech crushed his Blue Devils last night. So, Brennan, what did you guys end up doing in the last 2 weeks?
Last 2 weeks I caught up on some housework, did some odds and ends things, saw my family a little bit, but I'm really enjoying being back in studio recording, you know.
Absolutely. I went down and, before I went down, I ended up taking on a new job, so I'm going to be now the athletic director of California.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations. We kind of knew before you left, but
we did.
It's been a secret.
It's an exciting time. It's a lot of busy work trying to get some things done, getting ready for the spring sports season, and but it's a fun adventure. I'm learning a lot. I got to go to my first meeting this week down at Heinz Field. It's kind of cool with all the Whippeal ADs. Mm-hmm. Kind of a little crazy because the morning was like a little snowy, but it was a fun time. And then went down and saw the Mouse. My kids went down and performed in Main Street USA in the Magic Kingdom. That was an amazing experience for them. Spent a lot of time, down in Florida, enjoying the sunshine. Got a little sunburn, but
you're looking like Julio Iglesias when you get back here.
Yeah, I know. And then Monday kicked off spring sports season, so I'm knee deep into softball. We got practice tonight. We had a great first 5 days of practice. The snow has thrown a huge wrench into our plans, though.
You know what? March sucks.
Huge wrench.
March sucks. You never know what you're going to get.
We were supposed to play tomorrow. I already moved the scrimmage to Friday. So I'm supposed to play Thursday and Friday. I'm hoping out and holding out for the snow to mostly melt today. It's supposed to be like 42.
Yeah.
And it'll all melt tomorrow. So we'll see. But team's looking good. We'll talk about a little more preview maybe next week as I do my preview article for the Mon Valley Independent this week. But let's just jump in and let's talk about. We're kind of we wrote some vague notes today, and we're gonna kind of just talk off the cusp a little bit and roll into some topics that we may not even be prepared for. But let's talk about the combine. Who do you have as your biggest winners?
My biggest winners. You know who I liked a lot? A guy I thought might fall to the Steelers, Jordan Davis, the big defensive tackle out of Georgia. And I think everyone expected him to go first round, mid to late, where the Steelers are picking. And he's not going to. He's going to be a top 15 selection more than likely. If it's to the Eagles, to the Ravens. Big winner. The guy can move.
Oh, yeah.
He ran a faster 40 time than Patrick Mahomes, I believe.
He did.
Don't quote me on that.
I think.
But so he's a big guy, and he can move. He's over 300 pounds. He was the biggest winner to me because they were even talking about him falling to like the 27, 28 mark to the Bucs and then filling voids on defense in the later first rounds. Kenny Pickett, I think, overcame, the small hand size thing during the whole week because it matters how big your hands are, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
But I'm not in love with any of the quarterbacks for this year's draft. I don't think anyone really is.
I would say Kenny did okay. He threw really well. I'd say Malik Willis.
Did well. A lot of people don't know his whole story.
Right.
For anyone who doesn't know, Malik was a highly ranked recruit coming out of high school. Was supposed to play at Auburn. I think he got hurt in training camp or something. Lost the job.
Right.
And then ended up transferring to Liberty. So that's why he's not coming out of a high profile college. Who else do you think had a big combine?
I definitely loved a lot of the 40 times. I know a couple of our Ohio State guys ran. The unofficial was 4.28, ended up being 4.36. I always like seeing the 40 because I know it's it's not the perfect statistic as you're tracking a lot of things, but you're able to see what their true speed is.
Yes. And that's people I know get really big into the combine. Man, did you see how fast that guy was? I'm like, why does that matter? Because you know what? Add 35 pounds of equipment on him, a helmet, shoulder pads, knee pads.
Right.
All that stuff. I'm like, he's not going to move that fast, really.
No. I think, there were a lot of cool things to watch. Jordan Davis definitely had my eye. Those corners out of Cincinnati, I think they're very long and lengthy.
Yes. Amon Gardner, he had a good combine.
Definitely.
He will be a top, probably 15 selection.
And I think, honestly, the one, I was looking this up as we're talking. The only receiver I thought is a little bit of a, what's it called? What am I trying to say? Like a secret agent in a way is that Treylon Burks from Arkansas.
You know what? He's going to go to the Dallas Cowboys.
But you know
they
what?
just got rid of Amari Cooper for nothing.
We'll talk about that later. I think he hurt his stock, though. So they thought he was going to be wide receiver number one since Jamison Williams is hurt. He ran a 4.55 40.
You know what?
Big body, but
he's a big body guy. He's built different. He could be one of those guys we're talking about for the next 10 to 15 years in the National Football League.
Who else am I looking on this list?
Receiver-wise, I like Drake London number 1 and Garrett Wilson number 2. I had Garrett Wilson going to the Jets in my first mock draft.
I honestly had Garrett Wilson go to the Browns, but now I don't think they'll take a receiver.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, they could. I mean, you still have Donovan Peoples-Jones out of Michigan, who's still young. Mm-hmm. Schwartz, who's still younger. But, I mean, I don't think the Browns are going to go wide receiver.
No.
I think the Jets could go wide receiver. I think Atlanta's going to go wide receiver after the whole Calvin Ridley incident.
Right.
Which we're probably going to talk about a little bit today. But, yeah, I had Drake London going first and then Garrett Wilson going second.
You know, one story I saw out of the Combine that I thought was very interesting was the Lions are rumored to want to shop their first pick. They're not fully sold on drafting up there now.
I think a lot of people are. I've heard Jacksonville's talking about shopping around a little bit. They're entertaining offers. They're not.
It's not the year that because there's no clear number one.
No, I'm going to assume Jacksonville's going to keep their first overall pick and go with one of the offensive tackles. Because, I mean, you have your franchise quarterback for the next 15, 20 years in Trevor Lawrence. You have your guy, and you want to keep him as your guy.
And I think that's their biggest need is definitely offensive line.
Offensive line. I think they're going to need some receivers.
And I think the problem with Detroit is, they could use one of those edge rushers, but they need more than just that. So if you can, I could see the Eagles, right? Because don't they have 2 or 3 picks in the first round?
They have 3. I think the New York Giants have 2.
I could see a team like that have multiple picks in the first round jumping up. And they just swap, and the Lions would get 2 first-round picks lower in the draft, and then they would go up.
Because they're picking 1, and then they're picking 2 and 32.
2 and 32.
I think some teams that need edge rushers, picking in your top couple. I don't think Jacksonville needs any edge rushers. They have Josh Allen, who's phenomenal.
Correct.
Houston could use one at 3. I mean, they need everything. Let's just get that out of the way. They need everything. The New York Giants could use one. But there's still a few weeks left. We have free agency still, and there's going to be some more trades in the next couple of days, even today. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. But,
it'll be interesting.
There's going to be a lot of receivers going first round. I think I have 4 or 5 wide receivers going in round 1.
That's about right. I think I have around.
I mean, you have London, Wilson, Olave, Williamson, Burks, and then I had Dotson going late first round.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dotson's on the cusp between 1 and 2. I think it's the deepest receiver class, and I think it's also the deepest corner and defensive class. It's not really a big quarterback class, which saves everything for them. But I think it's going to be a little bit different. So, all right, let's just jump in. There's been a lot of action in the trade market lately.
Yes.
So, which one do you want to start with? So I'm going to pull up the exact statistics on every single trade.
Let's start. Let's go with the Russell Wilson trade of the Denver Broncos first.
Okay, so before I get into the actual detail of it, absolutely shocked.
I am too. He's been saying since
he
the
wanted
season
out,
ended, he's content in Seattle. I don't know how much sincereness was behind that. I think he would have been okay staying for 1 more year, but he's married to Sierra. Obviously, They weren't going to go to a small market area. They just weren't going to do it. He wasn't going to go to to the Pittsburghs or Detroits or whatever. He was going to go to the Denvers, the New York Giants, the Las Vegas Raiders, the New Orleans Saints, bigger market areas. Denver got hosed.
All right, so this one point, trying to pull up the exact statistics. So,
I even remember them. 2 number ones.
2 number ones.
2 number twos.
2 number twos.
A fifth. Noah Fant. Shelby Harris.
And Drew Lock. I understand when they tossed in Drew Lock. Quarterback for a quarterback. I get that point.
Mm-hmm. But even if they cut him, I mean...
Right. Noah Fant's a phenomenal tight end.
You know, when he got drafted a few years ago, the expectation out of Iowa was he is going to be a top 5 tight end in the NFL.
And I don't think he just didn't have the quarterback to get him there.
He hasn't lived up to the hype yet. I don't even think he's got a chance to play with Peyton. He didn't get a chance to play with Peyton Manning. I think I drafted right after that. So, I mean... But, I mean, I get the move why Denver did it. Denver is in win-now mode. Well, offensive line is okay.
Yep.
They have running backs.
Mm-hmm. They have a couple receivers.
They have Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, KJ Hamler, and was it Tim Patrick?
Yeah.
The defense is good, not great. It's good enough to win.
Well, and guess who wants to come back?
I heard Von Miller's talking about coming back. From what I understand, he's going to be basically just playing there. He's not going to be getting paid.
Yeah.
He's won 2 Super Bowls.
He wants
Denver's
to go back
in win-now mode.
Yep.
They do have a chance to win one. That division is loaded.
I laugh that they were in the sweepstakes for Aaron Rodgers, and the
sweepstakes for everybody.
Then it's the second Aaron Rodgers says, "I'm staying home." 3 hours later, bang! And I think they jumped too early.
I think if they would have waited a little bit, they might have got a better bang for their buck.
I mean, Seattle clearly won this trade.
Seattle won the trade 110%. But you know what this shows you? It shows you how desperate people are for quarterback play.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I get why Denver won. What was Denver's record last year? 7-10.
7-10, I think. Yeah,
somewhere right.
They were right around the playoffs.
They were in the playoffs for like the last 2 weeks of the season. They got mathematically eliminated. So this team's ready to win. It was like when they brought in Peyton Manning. They had everything in place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had the running backs, the receivers, the defense was good.
Well, and I mean, you look at their new coaching staff. I mean, you've got offensive-minded coaches now in place with Russell Wilson under the helm. What's going to happen?
You have a receiver who was drafted in the top 15 in Jerry Jeudy. You have Cortland Sutton, who is really good.
Mm-hmm.
You have KJ Hamler, who was supposed to be a first-round pick, but that class was just so deep. He fell to the second.
And they're young receivers where Russell can really mentor them. But you know the person I feel the worst for? DK Metcalf.
Oh, yeah, him and Tyler Lockett, both of them.
Yeah. I mean,
who knows? Seattle might be in on the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes currently.
I don't think they are. I think they're going to be in rebuild mode. I mean, look, they got rid of Bobby Wagner. They got rid of their 2 top pieces of the organization.
You got rid of your 2 best players, arguably in franchise history.
Right.
I mean, Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner.
Did you hear the story about Bobby Wagner that he didn't even get a phone call from the Seahawks?
No, he just. I think he saw it on ESPN whenever he got caught.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I
mean, they did that to Richard Sherman too. They did it to Sherman. Like that was horrible.
But I think here's the thing: that Sherman knew it was the end.
Yes.
You know, if it was right now or the next year, he knew it was, and then they just let him go.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, being in the division, and it goes back to like, why was Aaron Rodgers even thinking about going there? Because
why would you think about coming to the AFC at all?
Right. One. But the AFC West at anything because Herbert's young. They're right there. They need 1 or 2 more pieces offensively, and they won't lose a game. I mean, you got Mahomes.
Yeah, Mahomes, who is still, 26, 27?
And Derek Carr's no slouch.
Derek Carr's not a slouch. Like you just said, Justin Herbert is a phenomenal quarterback. And let's look at the rest of the AFC. Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. Lamar Jackson in Baltimore.
Josh Allen and the Bills.
Josh Allen and the Bills. Mac Jones and the Patriots.
Right.
Young quarterbacks.
Yep.
They're here. You'd want to. I mean, I get if Aaron Rodgers was going to get traded, they weren't going to trade him within the NFC. They weren't going to do it. If it was, to the 49ers, the Buccaneers, the Panthers, New Orleans.
What's one team we haven't even talked about in that real quick conversation was the Titans.
Oh, I mean, the AFC, yeah. I mean,
like the AFC is loaded.
Mm-hmm.
That it's just.
I think Tennessee's problem is, and why they haven't got over the hump yet, is they need a quarterback. Yeah. I think Tannehill's serviceable.
He's a game manager.
But he's not.
No. He's not going to go win games.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I don't understand. I know Russell wanted to get out of Seattle. But just like, why are you jumping into the AFC? Like, you're jumping in the deep end.
I'll tell you what, every defensive coordinator in that division is going to get fired this year. Everyone.
I don't know. Because how do you defend that? I mean,
this is going to be fast-break basketball.
The AFC, you might as well just tell the defense that, like, don't spend money on defense. Put all your money on the offense and just see who can score the most points a game.
See, we're saying that right now, and then Pittsburgh in the next few years has to be defense-oriented because that's all your money is. With Hayward, Watt,
and
a Fitzpatrick extension is supposed to be coming.
And we have the bonehead Rudolph going to be starting for us, so, But, yeah, I was amazed. Seattle won the trade. I feel like they'll start rebuilding. Fant's a good piece to build around. Harris is a good piece to build around. Those 2 first-round picks will help them build. I don't see them in the sweepstakes or Deshaun Watson, though.
Who's that?
Seattle.
No. Maybe. The only reason I say that is because they have the capital to do it. I heard Philadelphia is going to be on it. Carolina is going to be in on it. I've heard Pittsburgh has an outside chance of coming in.
And we'll talk about that because I have a couple of dark horses for that race. A couple of things I saw this morning. But
I heard Tampa Bay might be in on that as well, which they should be. Let's jump into another quarterback trade. How about Wentz from Indianapolis to Washington?
That's what I'm pulling up right now. So the Colts got a 3rd-round pick this year, a 3rd-round pick next year if Wentz plays 70% of the snaps, and a 2nd-round pick this year. The Commanders got a 2nd-round pick this year and Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz can be good. He can.
Carson Wentz is good. I mean, he had Indianapolis in playoff position. The rest of that team kind of just got banged up a little bit.
Yeah.
He's all more on the injury-prone side since he blew out his knee in that game against the Rams a few years ago, the year the Eagles won the Super Bowl. I like Carson Wentz. I think he's a good quarterback. But to me, right now, with playing in Philadelphia for 3 or 4 years, and then you get traded to Indianapolis. Mm-hmm. Now you got traded to Washington. He is going to become the new Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh yeah,
he's going to be a journeyman. He's 1 or 2 years here and there until they get a quarterback.
Yeah. He's definitely.
Again, that shows you how desperate quarterback play is needed.
Well, and it's one team that's out of the Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett's sweepstakes now. They were saying one was going to go there, and now that's not. And you take out Denver.
Seattle needs a quarterback. The Vikings need a quarterback. Because I heard Cousins is on the chopping block.
But I don't think they're Seattle. I don't see them drafting one.
I see them rolling with Drew Lock.
I see them rolling with Drew Lock.
Ugh.
Why would you take him in a trade?
Backup.
Maybe
serviceable.
I don't know. I want to talk about that at the end of the day, but I think Carson Wentz could do some decent things. Washington does have a couple nice pieces with Terry McLaurin.
All right, let's throw a curveball in here. So, as of right now, Dallas is winning your NFC West or NFC East. Sorry.
Yes.
Washington will come in second, and then Philadelphia, and then New York coming up behind the rear.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if Philadelphia lands Watson today or tomorrow? We get Philadelphia and then Dallas and then Washington. The trade's a waste.
Do you want to jump right into that conversation because Jalen Hurts removed Eagles quarterback?
Yes, and I heard he was in Houston the other day.
In Houston?
Not with the Texans, just in Houston in general. I don't know if he has family from down that.
He did go to Bama and to Oklahoma, so he probably has some family down there somewhere. I don't know. I think the Giants will always be the 4th place team.
Yeah, it's a shame. They're wasting some good talent up there. Barkley and some offensive linemen.
But you talk about the Cowboys being the clear number 1 favorite. They just lost their best receiver.
You know what's sad?
For nothing.
For not they're getting a 5th, and I think they're getting a 6th round back or something like that.
I'm gonna look it up.
They traded him to Cleveland. I mean, R.I.P. Amari Cooper the rest of his career. Because you're going to Cleveland with a guy who no one's even sure about yet.
Right.
And he's been in the league. This is his 5th year.
So the Cowboys sent Amari Cooper in a 6th to Cleveland for a 5th and a 6th.
That was a clear cap dump.
Oh, 100%. But it's like, why?
Here's Dallas's logic the past few years. Let's draft a running back 4th overall. Let's pay him. Let's overpay a quarterback that is average.
Oh, yeah. But you know what frustrates me about Zeke is like, okay, so you drafted him 4th overall. You're paying for him. You're not letting him play. Like, they brought in Pollard, and they're taking half his carries away. It's like you're wasting the money then.
Here's the thing on a running back. A running back should never go top 15 in the draft. Never.
No.
Running backs are a dime a dozen.
Because they're going to get maybe 5-6 years and they're done.
Mm-hmm. A rookie contract is 4 years. Mm-hmm. You pick up the 5th year option. You tag them 1 year. That's 6 years.
And then most of the time...
And then you let them go.
Their prime is over. The couple will be serviceable a little bit longer, but not...
I mean, let's look at guys that me and you like. How about Christian McCaffrey? He needs to be a receiver now.
I know.
And we both watched him a lot when he played at Stanford, and we both thought he got snubbed of a Heisman that year. He needs to be a receiver.
Correct.
Another one. Let's look at Barkley. Got put in New York, a god awful place. He's just getting killed.
I wonder if he's on the way out.
I heard they're entertaining offers. If I'm someone like the Miami Dolphins, I'm probably on the phone.
If I'm Barkley, I want to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, especially if somehow Deshaun ends up in the NFC East.
Oh yeah, especially with him only being 26 years old or whatever he is.
I'm out.
I mean,
let's stay in the NFC a little bit. Let's jump to the Packers trade but. The rumor has it that Aaron Rodgers was supposed to get 4 years, $200 million. Not a guarantee yet, but I just don't like he takes the complete opposite approach of Tom Brady. He wants all the money, and then he complains that he can't win down the stretch. Well, he has no talent around him. Tom Brady said, "I want the championship. Pay everybody else."
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's getting Devontae Adams back. They slapped the tag on Devontae Adams. I think he kind of expected it. But I'm not an Aaron Rodgers guy. I'm not a Green Bay guy.
No, not either.
I mean, the guy is good. I mean, let's not sugarcoat. The guy is good. He's not great.
No.
I mean, they only scored, 10 points in that game against the 49ers.
Yeah. I mean, and just, they need to spend more money on their defense. So it's like, I understand why a lot of teams didn't want to get in his sweepstakes. He's 37, right? 38?
37, 38. What do you have, 2 to 3 years left in him?
Right. And, the whole movement for him to go to Pittsburgh, sure, I would love to have him in Pittsburgh, but we're not in a win-now mode to put him in this.
No, and that's what people don't understand. The people thinking, oh my God, Aaron Rodgers coming to the Steelers. Oh my God, Deshaun Watson's coming to the Steelers.
No, but
Russell Wilson's coming to the Steelers.
I would entertain Deshaun Watson more than I'd entertain the other two.
Well, because he's younger.
He's younger. I'd take Deshaun.
I'd entertain Wilson. He's 33. The guy can still do it, but that's he give another 5 to 6 years out of him.
But you're going to get Deshaun still on his rookie contract. And he's not going to get as much money because he hasn't played for a year. You might get a cheaper bargain out of him.
I don't know if Watson's still on his rookie contract or not. I heard him saying he's owed all kinds of money.
I think it might be. I don't know.
I can't remember. But no, this all just goes to show people how desperate people are for quarterback play in the NFL. I mean, then you're going to have guys like Mitch Trubisky get another chance to play.
No, he did sign a new contract.
He did?
Yeah, so he's... Oh, my Lord. He's owed $35 million this year in the cap.
Oof. Yeah. I thought I heard someone say there he's owed something ridiculous. But anyway, back to it. Guys like Trubisky are going to get another chance. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to get another chance somewhere else. Jameson Winston. Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
To me, those guys are good bridge quarterbacks,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to slap a bandage on a cut that needs stitches.
Correct.
You're going to keep your fans entertained enough to still sell the merchandise, the tickets,
Yep.
the food and the concessions at the games, but you're not going to be competing for a Super Bowl or AFC or NFC championship for that matter.
No. One more trade we got to talk about though. Jumping back in, the Broncos, like, as you said earlier before we went on the air, they're playing chess and everybody else is playing checkers.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers did go get Khalil Mack though. I mean, imagining that front seven with Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, and what's the other one they have? There's a third piece to that puzzle.
I can't remember. I remember I said before that there's a rumor that Jordan Davis might fall to them in the draft.
Yes.
That would be a nice front. But, Khalil Mack's numbers have fallen off the past couple of years. So, let me read these numbers to you. In 4 seasons with the Oakland Raiders, he didn't play in Las Vegas.
Right.
304 tackles, 40.5 sacks, 9 forced fumbles.
In 4 seasons?
In 4 seasons with the Raiders.
That's not bad.
4 seasons with the Chicago Bears, 163 tackles, 36 sacks, 14 forced fumbles.
Okay.
You're cutting the 304 almost in half.
All right, but let's talk about that. It was a scheme change.
I also think he was
not
injured most of the year is why they got him for a second-round pick and a fifth or sixth.
But they went from playing the 3-4 in Oakland to the 4-3 in Chicago, and he's not a down lineman.
No, but he had a lot of success in Chicago with, forced fumbles that way.
Right.
And I think that's what they wanted.
They've got him playing the strong side linebacker spot now in San Diego, or Los Angeles, excuse me. But, that gives them another big piece. On their defensive
with what
line.
they gave up, why weren't the Steelers in on that trade talk? They need another guy to play the edge.
They don't want that because they think Highsmith's the next coming of TJ Watt, which is not.
I would have gave up Highsmith in a 3rd-round pick for Khalil Mack.
Oh, 100%.
And been perfectly content. He's still young. He's only played 8 seasons. He's still got another 8 in the tank at least.
You look at. I know a lot of people don't want to trade away draft picks, but it clearly works. Look at the freaking Rams. They have no draft capital for the next couple of years, but they won.
They did what they set out to do. And you know what? They're saying, Von Miller said he's only playing for the Broncos and the Rams. Let's get that out of the way.
And I want to see if Von goes to the Broncos, does AD stay? Or does he retire?
That's a good question. I think he's just going to run it back at least one time without Vaughn beside him or whatever. But where were we going with this? Von Miller?
More on the Chargers aspect, but
I don't even know why you'd waste money on defense in that division. Your best bet's to score 30 points a game and help you win.
We said that earlier.
The Raiders' offense is okay. They have Renfro and Josh Jacobs. They're going to be drafting another receiver, I'm sure. They might be lucky to have Chris Olave fall down that far to them.
But let's briefly stop and talk though about the AFC and who are your top 7 teams right now? There's anybody that can be fighting for those spots. You clearly got the Bills coming out of the East. The Bengals are coming out of the North.
Mm-hmm.
The Titans will come out of the South.
Mm-hmm.
I still say the Chiefs are coming out of the West.
Yeah.
Then I got Broncos. I don't have a second team coming out of the South right now.
No. I think Indianapolis is close, but they need a quarterback.
The East, you could argue the Patriots, but he's not signing back some of his defensive stars.
Yeah.
So that's a question mark to me. The Dolphins, not a chance with a new coach. It's going to take them a year. But that's what I'm saying. Your top, it's the top 4 teams.
You could have Baltimore.
But is Lamar going to actually...
And then you have the rest of the whole AFC West. I was saying at work, I wouldn't be surprised if those were your 3 wild card teams. You know, if you had the Chiefs, and the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Vegas Raiders.
I don't know. Is that mathematically possible, though?
Yes. There's 3 wild card spots now.
I know, but is it mathematically possible for all 4 teams of the division?
The Chiefs would probably have to win 13 games, which is absolutely possible. The second place team would probably have to win 12. And 10 and 9.
But then that's basically betting on they have to win every other game but the division games.
They all have to split. You know,
they have to split.
The Chiefs would have to split with everybody. Maybe win 2 against one of them. And then Denver would have to go 1-on-1 against everybody.
If you split, there's 3 losses. Yeah. So then it would say the Chiefs have to win every other game.
It's possible.
Who do they play in the crossover?
I'm not even sure who they're playing this year. The schedule hasn't been released yet.
I know we don't have to play the West, thank God.
We played them this year.
We just did, so yes. We don't have to play them, thank God.
A couple years after 3 years.
We can take a break from that.
By the time we play the West again, you know, Wilson will be old. Well, older. You know, you have 3 to 5 years left to him.
Trying to see.
Mahomes will still be good. Herbert will still be good. Carr, he might not even be there. They're still talking about shopping him.
I know.
Which is just mind-boggling.
Agreed. They have the NFC West.
Who does?
The AFC West.
Okay, well let's think about this right now. Seattle's not going to be any good.
No.
I don't think Arizona's going to be as good as what they were this past year.
No.
They're not bringing back Chandler Jones
and
all their defensive players.
The 49ers, I mean, I could see them. I could see every team in the AFC West except for the Raiders beating the 49ers.
I mean, they're just rolling with Trey Lance this year.
Then what can you do with the Rams? Can you beat them? You know, that's just going to be like the...
I think your top 2 teams could beat them. I think Denver might be able to beat them if they can get them in Mile High Stadium.
They don't. They go on the road.
I got to do some planning on the road. I mean,
Denver has the Cardinals and the 49ers at home. I mean, here's Denver's schedule. So they got... Who else they got at home? Texans, Colts, and Jets. And then...
Hell, that's 3 wins right there.
Right. So, and then on the road, Jacksonville, there's a 4th win.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina, that's a 5th win. Seattle, 6. I'd say they beat Baltimore, 7. And then the other away game is Tennessee. Who knows?
I mean,
at Tennessee, it's hard.
It depends.
Game. But I mean, that's 7 wins right there without even playing a conference game.
You mean division game?
Division game, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really fun to watch this year. You know, I love seeing all the big moves and big trades. It shows how desperate teams are and how close people think they really are. I do think Denver's right on that cusp. Like I said, that they got eliminated with like 2 weeks left of the season this year.
Mm-hmm. I hate to say it, like I'm looking at this. It's the FB schedules where you can look at all the future ones.
Mm-hmm.
Ours aren't bad. Like our schedule's not bad. Like home versus away.
No, I think we have Tampa Bay at home this year.
We have Tampa Bay at home. We have the Saints at home. We have the Raiders at home. We have the Patriots at home and the Jets at home. Then we go on the road to Atlanta.
Atlanta's on hard place to play.
Carolina, win.
Before we start counting wins, we have to think about who our quarterback's going to be.
I know, but still, you know, Miami, not a bad away game. We have to go back to Buffalo. Pray to God it's in the fall, not in the winter.
Yes.
And then we play on the road to the Colts. Not bad.
Not bad, but not good either.
At least it's indoor.
They're a team right around where the Steelers are.
Yeah. And then we play at the Eagles.
That can be tough depending on, what they do at quarterback.
That's cool, but I like that extra game. Then I hate to say it, they should keep, I know they want to rotate that last, your NFC normal rotation team, but they should keep, rivalries. I'd like to see, the Bills always play the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Us always play the Eagles. You can match them up like that with some, rivalry games.
Or the Jets play the Giants, or, the Steelers play the Eagles, right.
Like you
just said.
you have some geographical matchups like Cleveland and Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Cincinnati and I don't know. There's no team really around Cincinnati. But, you know, I wish they would look into that a little more.
I guess Indianapolis. Cincinnati, Indianapolis.
Well, no, it's the crossover of the NFC. I would probably send Cincinnati to, like, Minnesota. Maybe. Or Green Bay.
I think they should just add another division game.
What?
Make it that much more important.
Yeah. I don't know.
You know?
NFL schedules are so weird. But, all right.
Let's
jump into free agency?
Let's jump into a little bit of pre-free agency here. I've heard a couple names being linked to the Steelers. I heard another interesting trade possible last night that the Steelers are trying to pursue Fletcher Cox.
I heard that too, and I wouldn't be against it.
I wouldn't either. We haven't had a plug on defense since Casey Hampton.
I mean, if you're thinking as much as you think that Jordan Davis isn't going to be there at 20.
And if that's your guy at 20...
I like Jordan Davis at 20.
I mean, I like Jordan Davis at 20 as well. What the Steelers actually like is in something completely different. I mean, who knows? Because they haven't been in any of these quarterback trade talks hardly at all with Wilson or Rodgers or anybody for that matter. Which is kind of discouraging to see if you're a Steelers fan.
But I mean, it's the Pittsburgh motto. Like, we've never...
You can't win like that anymore. It's a proven fact. You can't do it. You can't rely on the draft and bring in minimum free agents. Or no free agents at all. Right. You have to be able to play both sides of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one year, the Steelers went out and they spent some money in free agency. They signed Mike Mitchell. They signed LeGarrette Blount. They signed some other, a couple other guys. And none of those guys really panned out, but they were good depth pieces to have. Mike Mitchell wasn't terrible, like everyone says he was.
Right.
But who was the last big name free agent the Steelers brought in? Joe Hayden?
Maybe.
He was cut by Cleveland at like noon, and he was a Steeler by 12:45.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised, like we said before, that he wasn't coming back.
I mean, he's not going to come back. I think he said farewell the other day. Kind of in a Reuter kind of way. He said goodbye to Steeler Nation. But hey, when you're in your 30s and you're playing corner and you refuse to move to play one of the safeties, that's what happens. Look at some of those guys that have moved from corner to safety.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Charles Woodson.
Right.
Phenomenal. Bounced back to safety, played safety for the Packers, helped them win a Super Bowl. Went back to Oakland for a couple years, played safety for them again.
I
heard Mitch Trubisky a lot to the Steelers. No.
I'd rather have Mariota than Trubisky.
Yeah, if we're talking free agent quarterbacks...
honestly, I'd rather have Winston, but I think you get the trade for him, don't you?
No, he's a free agent.
Is he free agent?
He can go anywhere he wants, but I think consensus has he's going to go back to New Orleans. Out of the free agent quarterbacks who I like in order are Bridgewater, Mariota, Trubisky.
Yeah.
If you're going that way.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, why Bridgewater? Bridgewater won the Vikings 12 games and then 10 games. Had them in back-to-back playoff seasons. He got hurt, was never supposed to play football again.
He needs the right kind of personnel around him.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I also, a couple of names I've been seeing that I love. Ryan Jensen, center out of the Bucks.
I've heard that name a couple times.
I hate to say it. Bobby Wagner.
Yes, I've heard a lot of Bobby Wagner. I've heard Bobby Wagner's also interested in Dallas.
Now, the only issue with Bobby Wagner is that he can't cover.
No.
And so that means Devin Bush is going to have to be our cover, which I think,
Devin Bush does have the speed. He probably lost a little bit of a step when he blew out his knee a few years ago.
But I think if you give him just that, I think the problem was last year, they expected him to be the number one linebacker, rushing the quarterback.
Wearing the dot,
and trying to cover. He's too young to be able to do all of that. But if you let him just be the weak side guy and covering all the tight ends.
Let's look back to Ryan Shazier. He wasn't doing all that stuff until he was in the league for 3 or 4 years.
Right.
He was at the end of his rookie deal, and everyone's like, man, this guy's a bust. He's not good. And then, he has a phenomenal season. And then, the next season, he...
Life-threatening injury.
Yeah,
Did I ever tell you I saw him in Columbus when I was out there?
Yes, you did. You sent me a picture. So I guess who's eating across from me.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. I talked to him for about 30 seconds. But, Bobby Wagner, it'd be an issue in terms of coverage, which I think we could solve.
Yes.
J.C. Jackson out of New England.
I've heard that name a couple times. There was another cornerback's name I heard too.
Yeah, wasn't he out of Tampa?
Yeah, like, I can't remember his name. Jordan Davis?
No.
Last name?
No. I'm trying to think. Well, and then I heard that they're actually, instead of picking up the 5th-year option on Edmonds, they're actually still going after him. They're not going to let him go.
I think they're going to get him for a cheaper rate. I don't know if he's going to come back. He has the opportunity to go play with his brother in Buffalo. I don't know if... he's not going to start. Jordan
Is that really a conversation piece? I never heard that one yet.
No, he said it since he got drafted. His goal was to play with his brother for at least
Oh, okay.
They say it all the time that, everyone wants to play for their brother for at least, a year. The Watts have all said it, Derek,
right.
TJ, and JJ. The only way that would happen is for him to come to Pittsburgh because Derek's under contract here for another couple of years.
Oh, here we go. Here's a list. Here's a list of... This is some random guy on Twitter, some people he'd like to see. Christian Kirk wouldn't be a bad receiver for us to pick up if Juju doesn't come back.
If Juju doesn't come back, that's a big one.
Tavon Young, corner. Kyle Fuller, corner, which he's a little older.
Veteran presence.
Which wouldn't be bad, though.
Back half of the defense.
Laken Tomlinson, guard.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Norwell, guard. I like Norwell. He's a good guy. Ohio State bred.
I heard that name before. Did he play for Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Norwell? That's what I thought.
Edge rusher of Dante Fowler Jr. He's getting a little older.
I heard Dante Hightower.
Which I wouldn't be surprised at that one because...
He almost came to Pittsburgh a couple years ago.
And who was the reason why he went back to New England?
Brian Flores.
Javon Brown, he's a linebacker. Marlon Mack, I wouldn't mind them picking him up.
No, and that's what I was saying the other day. You have to spend a little bit of money on like a 2-year deal for another running back behind Najee Harris. If someone was like, "Oh, just draft one," why do you want 2 young running backs like that?
No.
You want a guy you can pay $5 million for 2 years and say, "Hey, we need you to have 10 touches a game, 12 touches a game, 15 touches a game." You want to keep Harris's legs fresh because these next few years, the way you're winning is a round and pound, play action, over the top offense.
100%.
Not, throwing it 45 times a game like Roethlisberger like to do, because this isn't Ben's team anymore.
And then, if we do not bring back Edmonds, I like Jordan Whitehead out of Tampa. Former pick.
That's who it was, Jordan Whitehead. That's right, yes.
He wouldn't be a bad pickup for us. Trying to see. Carlton Davis. That was the other corner.
Carlton Davis. I said Jordan Davis.
So, it'd be interesting to see what they do. I have a strong feeling, though, that we're going to end up just... I hate to say this.
Coasting through free agency, signing minimal guys.
No, I don't think minimal. But I don't see us... the more I keep watching this, the more this story of Kenny Pickett with small hands... I think Kenny Pickett's going to be a Steeler. I think he's going to fall all the way to 20 now.
I do as well. Like we just said, there's a couple teams that we think...
How do you sit there at 20?
Out of the quarterback sweepstakes now in the draft.
How do you sit there at 20 and say you can't take him if he's there? You've watched the kid grow up for the last 5 years in your building.
6.
Was he there for 6?
He was a 6-year senior, wasn't he?
No, 5.
Oh, I thought he played that bonus year.
No, I don't think he ever used his bonus year. But it's just like...
You see him in your
You see him there.
You see him working out on your field.
He's better than Mason Rudolph, 100%.
Yeah, I think right now, if you look at the whole NFL, Mason Rudolph is probably the worst starting quarterback. He has to be.
If Drew Lock started, no.
I don't know.
Honestly, and I'll tell you this, and I think it's just he's gotten a bad rap. I'd take Dwayne Haskins before I take Mason Rudolph any day of the week.
I would as well. You're in Ohio State at home, so you got to see Dwayne up close. Me being a fellow Big Ten guy, I saw Dwayne a lot. And, he played really well in big games against, the Penn States, against the Washingtons in the Rose Bowl that year.
Right. It's there.
The talent's there. I think his mentality just needs to catch up with him, thinking, hey, I'm in, my mid-20s now. I need to...
I'm an adult now. I need to actually play ball.
Not worry about... Because, I mean, what are we talking about right now? We're talking about the guy that should be the franchise quarterback for the Washington Commanders.
Right.
You know, they shouldn't have to worry about getting a quarterback or, trading for Wentz or whatever. But, I mean, there's still a couple of quarterback options out there for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like I said, I'd be on the phone with the 49ers saying, hey, here's a third-round pick and Chase Claypool just to get him the hell out of Pittsburgh because nobody really cares for him.
Right.
Because of his diva traits. And say, hey, we'll take Jimmy Garoppolo and that,
third-round pick.
And that money this year.
Right.
Whatever. The Steelers have money to spend. They have a little over $30 million in cap, and apparently they're supposed to be cutting like Joe Schobert. And I heard Derek Watt might be on the verge of getting cut. And that's going to say you're going to be almost at $40 million in cap space.
Yeah. Which is not bad.
Well, which is not bad. This is the most cap space you've had in a very, very long time, to say the least.
But it's just like, how do you strategically say if you have 4 guys for $10 million, or you go get like 8 guys for $5 million?
I think you try to balance it out a little bit more than that. I think
you take quantity over quality. That's the question.
I'm going to take 2 guys on the upper end of free agency, saying, hey, you're going to play right now, and then you're going to bring in a couple depth pieces. 5. Of course,
I mean, we do need depth. We do. 3
or 4 depth pieces there, and then you're going to draft guys, and your first 3 round picks will more than likely play.
Right.
Even if they took a quarterback and they took Pickett, I mean, there's a good chance he's going to play this year because I don't know how you feel about this. Like, when you watch a quarterback, like if we were watching a game right now or whatever, and let's just say it's 2 random teams, you can tell when someone has like that it factor, like, oh my god, like this is the guy. Like, he's going to be good.
Or do you just take the approach, not to cut you off, but like, lose. Tank. Go get C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young.
That's just not how the Steelers are, though.
I know.
It's never how they've ever been. They've never lost intentionally. They've never tanked. And it's unfortunately how you have to look at things now. Like, if you're not one of those top 7 teams in the entire NFL and you don't have Super Bowl aspirations, really, you might as well just tank.
We have no chance to go to the Super Bowl.
No, there's absolutely
we have
no
like a
chance
40% chance to even make the playoffs. Maybe. And that's stretching.
And back to we were talking about like the AFC West and stuff. There's still some questions about like the Chargers and stuff. Like, can they avoid the injury bug for once?
Mm-hmm.
Derwin James, to me, I'm not going to say he's a bust. He's injury prone.
Oh yeah.
The Boses, they're always injury prone. Their backs are always screwed up.
Yep.
There's questions everywhere with everything.
It's going to be a very interesting week. Starts tomorrow, right?
Free agency?
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact day it starts.
It's this week.
It's this week. It might be the 16th. I don't know why. The 16th is just in my head for some reason. I think we were texting about that when you were in Disney a couple weeks ago.
Let's see. The 16th, you were right. Yep, 1 p.m. But it's something like, agents or pending free agents, however, are permitted to negotiate with prospective teams beginning tomorrow at noon.
So, we're going to have deals done tomorrow, but it's not going to be official until the 16th at 1 p.m.
Right.
But, we're going to know.
Start getting rumors tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see. I don't know.
But now, if I'm the Steelers, there's 2 things I'm going to prioritize doing. First things first, I'm going to prioritize re-signing Juju Smith-Schuster. He's a good guy.
Agreed. I mean, look,
everyone likes him.
He came back when he shouldn't have come back and played in that playoff game.
Let's look at it this way. He came back to Pittsburgh, and he shouldn't have come back to Pittsburgh.
Correct.
He should have signed that 2-year deal or whatever it was with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I would have, dude.
And you know what? We might be talking about the Kansas City Chiefs beat the LA Rams in the Super Bowl because they had a number 2 receiver.
Well, do you think, though, with his rumors to Dallas?
No. Dallas just got rid of a receiver, which...
Were they getting rid of him to sign Juju?
That was a cap dump.
I know.
They still have to cut an offensive lineman, and it'll save them $15 million in cap space or whatever.
With that Collins or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I was talking about that with another friend of mine last night. They want Burks out of Arkansas. Every sign's pointing that way. They're saying he's going to fall.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of interesting news going on in the NFL right now. A lot of commentators switching networks. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
Fox going to ESPN. Herbie, who we love watching on College Game Day every Saturday morning, is still going to be doing that, but he's going to be doing Thursday Night Football for Amazon Prime. And
imagine how much money he's going to make this year, because he didn't leave his college football payroll. Like, he's just adding on.
Yes, because, I mean, he can do that on Saturdays and call game Saturday night and hurry up and travel.
Right.
Then,
Thursday to travel Thursday to Saturday, but...
Do you know who they're saying is going to join Herbie on Thursday Night Football on Amazon?
Who?
Al Michaels.
Really?
Yes. That would be a fantastic combination.
I didn't see that. The other person... Who was the other... I heard Jay Cutler's in the race to get into broadcasting. He's going to take
I don't know why. His
roles.
personality's so...
I know.
Wow. It's like having Tom Brady broadcast for you.
Did Troy Aikman officially leave Fox? Because he was on
Joe Buck.
Yeah. Well, no, I think they both were leaving, weren't they?
I'm not sure if they both left. I heard Joe Buck was supposed to be joining ESPN to do Monday Night Football.
Okay.
So...
Well, you talk about even the college standpoint. Like, so, I guess Fox and ESPN are fighting for the Big Ten rights now. So there was some story, and I'm not 100% sure on it, where Fox gets to pick one game to have the Big Ten matchup, and that's it this year. ESPN's getting the rest of them.
Well, I mean, if you're Fox, you're going to want Michigan, Ohio State, or...
No.
What?
They're going to take Notre Dame, Ohio State opening weekend.
Oh, that's right. See, I wouldn't think that with Cowboys. It's a... You know what I mean? It's not...
And you know what sucks, and it's going to give you guys the advantage, is ever since Fox took over on the rights, the whiteout game
has been on ABC.
Has been on ABC.
You know, it always is.
Because why? Because it's never been, or there was some aspect of this where they weren't, just the way things fell and the big marquee games Fox didn't get. But this is the first year that Fox has been in control of it, and they were supposed to have it. And it wasn't going to be a whiteout because you have the aspect of Major League Baseball playoffs, where the game when Saquon went 100 yards in the kickoff, the reason why that wasn't a night game was because of...
Well, that was at the shoot.
But it was because of the World Series. And now they're saying with this whole new deal, it's a guaranteed. Like, it was going to be the first year that it wasn't going to be a night game whiteout because of where the game was supposed to be. Because the last couple of years, it hasn't been in October. You played it in September.
Yeah. They've
bounced
around.
We played it in the COVID year at your place, right?
Yeah.
And then the 2 years ago, it was in September. And then the 2 years before that was the game I was at. 2016.
The whiteout game this year, I'm going to assume is going October 29th, Halloween weekend.
I think
That's when we're playing Ohio State.
Is it that weekend?
It got moved. It was supposed to be October 1st, which would be my brother's wedding. Thank God that got moved.
I haven't looked that far into...
We're actually starting the week this season on a Thursday against Purdue, at Purdue.
I saw that. That's kind of scary. Not as scary as us playing Notre Dame at home. Start the year.
Wait, you guys are playing at Ohio Stadium?
Yeah.
You don't have to worry.
I know.
An official will never let Ohio State lose in the game at Ohio State.
I mean, we did lose to Oregon.
Oh, yeah, I know. Someone's pockets must have been lined that game.
Our stretch, like, we play Iowa the week before we play you guys, but we play them at home, so it's not that bad.
Didn't Iowa kick you guys' ass at home a few years ago? Or was that at...
That was at
Iowa. Yeah, there you beat us and you guys went to Iowa and got the absolute shit kicked out of you. Like, it was like 54 to like 21 or something like that. And that year you guys lost to Purdue. I think it was the year after.
Yeah, you lost. You're talking about the Iowa was 2017.
That was the year. A Big Ten team didn't even make the playoff that year, I don't think.
Well, that was the year you guys won the... No, you won
that
the
was
Big
the year
Ten.
after.
Yeah. We still won the Big Ten because I went to the game. And then we didn't make the playoff. But, all right, let's jump in to finish up today a little bit. Two topics. I want to say, thank God that Major League Baseball is back.
We'll get into baseball talk a little bit. Yeah,
but
it's nice.
I don't like what they conceded. They were fighting, and they said, let's just play baseball.
The big problem was not addressed. The cap ceiling and the cap floor was not addressed. And, if you're not a baseball person, and we pay attention to it. I don't follow it religiously. I'm a Pirates fan. We're from Pittsburgh, and the other teams I watch. The Dodgers are really my second favorite team, and maybe the Red Sox.
Right.
Because of no cap ceiling and cap floor,
it's not going to be any different.
The same 10 teams are going to keep winning. The Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Cardinals, the Giants.
I do like some of the things they voted for and they changed, the no shift rule. I don't mind that. I think the shift has been changing a lot. The schematics of baseball really changed in the last couple of years. It basically was you either have to hit a home run or you're going to strike out.
Yes.
Now there's some scheme to things. Now there's some
a pitch
more.
Clock now. They put a pitch clock in, didn't they?
They did.
Which is good.
I'm trying to see. Here's the new rules. I don't like the designated hitter. I'm sorry. I don't.
I think it was they needed to add it or get rid of it, and they decided to add it.
Pitch clock doesn't start until 2023.
What is it, 25 seconds?
I
can't remember. I read the whole thing the other day. I can't remember.
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't think this is the right one.
Me and my friend Nicholas were talking about it the other in the middle of the week. He texted me about it and said, "You see baseball got a deal done?" And I said, "Yes, I did." I hate to say it, I think the lockout needed to happen all year for them to get everything done they wanted to get done.
Agreed.
But when you put multi-billionaires in a room with multi-millionaires that they're paying,
yep,
you're never going to get a deal done.
No.
Ever.
I just hope that they can rekindle a lot of things to bring the audience back.
Yeah, I mean, if you talk about it right now, people our age really don't enjoy the game.
No, it's
too
slow
on TV. I mean, but going to the game, having a hot dog and a beer and some nachos with your buddies, or your wife or your kids or whatever, that's fun. But it's just so slow. It's so boring to watch on TV. I mean, they're zooming in on the grass of the outfield. They're zooming in on people chewing their bubble gum in the stands. I mean, I'm excited. It's not America's game anymore.
No, I do like some of the things the Pirates are doing to spice up, the social media prowess is I guess we're opening on April 12th, so 4-1-2.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to play the game first pitch at 4-1-2. So, I mean, those kind of things are not bad. They're trying to get some of the younger crowd in, but I don't know. Let's jump into our last topic real quick and hit some March Madness.
Oh, it's Selection Sunday.
Selection Sunday.
I'm so excited.
Ohio State cannot win a game in March, so we're going to be one and done again because Chris Holtmann doesn't know how to coach in March, a.k.a. losing to Penn State on Thursday night.
Yeah, they lost by, 3 or 4 points?
We were up by 12.
I seen it was a game, and then I woke up the next morning, I checked my phone. I'm not one into Penn State basketball because nobody wants to play. I mean, you've been up to State College a bunch of times.
Oh, it's not a basketball school.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
It's a football and hockey town.
Yep.
And that's the 2 sports they're known for in wrestling. So they're never going to be good. Every couple of years they're really good. They were number 5 in the nation a few years ago during the COVID season. They didn't play the tournament.
I would
March
say
Madness this year, I think there's no
I don't have
this is the favorite to win it.
No, I don't have I don't have a favorite team. Normally I have a favorite team that I can say yes, I want this person's going to go all the way.
My Blue Devils lost last night to your sisters, Virginia Tech Hokies. A lot of MVMe's on my squad this year. Just chucking up random threes when they're down by 4 with still a lot of time left to play.
I mean, you look at the.
If I had to pick one team right now, I think is going to do it. You might agree with me on this. Is Arizona?
Yes, they're up
the
there.
Wildcats a lot.
I never trust Gonzaga to actually get it done.
No, and here's why I don't trust Gonzaga.
They don't play
their first few. Let's just say your first month of the season. They'll play the Dukes, the Syracuses, the Michigan States, Ohio States, whatever. And then they'll split those games. They lost to Duke, I think, by 2 or 3.
3. They beat UCLA by 20.
They beat the Bruins this year, yes.
They lost to Alabama. And then they have not played a game against quality opponents since technically, Texas Tech, what are they now?
They were number 14 or something. They were good.
Okay,
Tech's going to make a big dance.
Okay, so their last big game they played against Texas Tech was December 18th. They played a week before Christmas. They had not played another other than St. Mary's, but St. Mary's, and they lost to St. Mary's. They split with them.
Yes.
I don't see them as a number one team.
No, I mean I like Gonzaga, I do, but they don't play anybody for the rest of the season.
No,
they haven't played anybody since the week before Christmas.
And then you look straight down the top 25. Baylor was struggling down the stretch.
They lost to Oklahoma in the Big 12 tournament
in the quarters when they shouldn't have. And they lost. Well,
they're still projected to get a number one seed as of right now.
Yeah, they lost to Texas Tech in the season. Number 4 Auburn got beat in the tournament by Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M's a streaky team. If there are 2 double-digit seeds that I really like, that's Texas A&M and Virginia Tech. I don't see them getting more than a 10 seed. And you know what's crazy about it? Texas A&M, coached by the former Virginia Tech coach.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's kind of cool.
You know what? I've been telling people the last month, if you wanted to put money on kind of a long shot to win it all, and they're playing for the SEC championship today, is the Tennessee Volunteers.
Yes, they have been playing well.
Ricky Bowling is coaching them now, who coached Texas for a long time and coached them when Kevin Durant played there.
And they've won some big games in the stretch. They haven't lost since the 19th of February against Arkansas.
And Arkansas is a good team.
Yeah, they beat Kentucky. They've beaten Auburn. They've beaten...
quality teams.
They beat Kentucky again yesterday. Arkansas again. They're winning games, so that's not a bad one.
I know. I forgot to actually tell you this in the middle of the week. I'm actually going on Friday.
You said that, yeah.
Oh, did I tell you that?
Yeah, so...
Yeah, me and my father-in-law, we're going down for just session 1.
Okay, so you'll see 2 games?
Yeah, so we're going to see 2 games.
Where, console? Or PBG?
Yeah, we're going to see them at the PBG.
I saw it. I went my freshman year? Sophomore year? College? Well, I think it was one of the last times
I've never been there before, so that's something I can scratch off my bucket list.
Where are you sitting? Up top?
Yes, but we're sitting almost in the middle.
Middle center court?
Close. I can't remember.
See, what sucked for us
was bought the tickets.
We were behind the hoop. So it wasn't that bad, but it was a weird angle. When they got down to the other side, you really couldn't see anything.
I can't remember exactly where we're sitting. We might be behind the hoop. I don't know.
And we saw... Who did I see? I had an 8-9 matchup with, I think it was LSU and somebody. Then I had the 1-16 in Villanova. So it was kind of a snooze fest.
8-9's always really good.
Yeah, it was a good game.
I think we're supposed to see a 6 and a 10 rumored. So that's
7 and 10.
7 and 10.
You might have 7, 10, 2, 15.
I think that's what we're going to see, which 7 and 10 is always really, really good. The 2-15 might be a little bit of a snooze fest. Maybe I'll be lucky and get to see Duke or Villanova or somebody good.
That's what I want to see. Is the bracket out in terms of locations yet?
That I don't know. I haven't paid much attention. We have a couple championship games today.
I know, but I don't
Iowa
see.
Purdue play, I think, 1.
If you can see where the locations are, no. I don't think so. Yeah, they just show first and second round, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, today we have the AAC Conference Championship, which would be Memphis and Houston. They played last Sunday, and Memphis actually just steamrolled Houston.
I saw that, yeah.
A&M and Tennessee for the SEC, that's at 1. Memphis and Houston, that's at 3:15. And then the Big Ten at 3:30, which I think is going to be a great game, is number 24 Iowa, number 9 Purdue.
I think I like Purdue. I think I think they could make a run. They haven't lately, but we'll see.
I don't know. That's why March Madness is fun, because you never know what you're going to get.
Oh yeah.
If they would eliminate, bring this down to 16 teams, the best 16 teams, you're going to see the same 16 all the time. You're going to see the Dukes, the Carolina, the Syracuse, Michigan State, Arizona, Purdue.
I hope Duke makes a run for Coach K's sake.
I do. I think they're going to be bouncing the Sweet 16.
That's where I have them.
Maybe Elite 8 if they're lucky. But too many MVPs on that team this year.
Oh yeah, and I want to see the Big Ten. I think is, other than the SEC, I think the Big Ten and the SEC are the 2 deepest conferences right now.
I don't know. I'm going to say Big 12.
I don't think the Big 12 is that
Kansas,
deep.
Baylor, Texas Tech, TCU, no one's really talking about. Jamie Dixon has them playing.
Yeah, but I mean, look at
outstanding basketball right now.
I mean, you got in the Big Ten. You've got Purdue, Iowa, Michigan State, who Izzo always figures out a way to win in March.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Wisconsin, who got bounced early in the tournament.
Yeah.
Indiana, they stroke all the way down to the semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State, who's been struggling in the stretch, but if we can put it together, we'll be like
Michigan
a 7-8 seed.
Michigan still might make
Michigan might sneak in. I mean, I think we're deep. I don't know. I think it's
at that point, I think we're talking quantity over quality.
Yeah, we are.
I think there's two good teams in the Big Ten, Iowa and Purdue. I think they're both really good. Did you see the end of that Iowa game yesterday against
that shot
that
was
lucky three? Oh, that was a good game. But
Indiana's a streaky team because they have a really good. I think he's a freshman. It's number 23. I forget his name. He's really good. But like Purdue, I mean, they have a dude that's like 7'4".
I know, that's my boss, my owner of my company keeps telling me, he's like, dude, you watch Purdue, you watch Purdue, you watch Purdue. And then I watched them like the next game. It was when they got blown out by Michigan by like 25 or 30. And then it happened again like a couple weeks later. I'm like, what the hell team were you watching? But I finally got a chance to watch them a couple times. And they are good. Right now, if you had to pick two teams you want to see... No, if you could pick your Final Four right now, who would you pick?
Oh, Jesus.
Just random. You know, we can't go off the bracket because the bracket's not out yet. If you could take your four teams right now, who would you take?
Arizona.
Okay.
Baylor. Tennessee. And I'll take a wild card, Virginia Tech.
Kind of figured you're going to go that way. One lower seed always wins.
I know. There's always one.
Between 9 and 12 or whatever.
Yep.
I'm going to go Arizona. I'm going to go Tennessee.
Okay.
The other two. I'm going to go Kansas. I think they're playing really well right now.
They are.
I don't want to say Gonzaga. I have a feeling they're going to get bounced early and everything.
I think they're going to be in the Sweet 16.
And that way I can just say, next weekend, I told you so.
Yep.
And then...
The reason, honestly, I vote Virginia Tech is like... Did you ever look at their lineup yesterday? They're all upperclassmen. Like, half of them are seniors. Mm-hmm. And that matters when you get to March. I mean, you have those freshmen who have no idea what they're doing. Look at all those Kentucky teams. They never won. Mm-hmm. They had no experience. They'd win throughout the season. It didn't matter.
I have one more team. Maybe TCU. Dixon has them playing lights out. I'd like to see them make a nice run at it.
Yeah.
They have some good wins throughout the season. I wish they could have beat Kansas.
I think the stupidest thing Pitt ever did was let him go.
Let him walk.
Yep.
But
I don't know. I'm excited for an interesting week. It's going to be hard to find time to watch for myself. I know I got potentially, if the snow melts, scrimmage Thursday, scrimmage Friday. Hopefully I can get one of the games in. I don't mind. Like, we're playing Brownsville Thursday, so I don't mind going to Brownsville and playing at their place. But
yeah, that's it. I work Monday through Thursday this week, and then me and my father-in-law are taking Friday off, and we're going down. I think we're seeing noon. We're session 1, so we're seeing noon and like 2:30.
Yeah,
that's what that would be, 1 and 2:30, and then
or whatever. You have like an early afternoon game.
Yeah, we have the early games, the beginning games. So hopefully we see some good games down there. Talk about that next weekend.
Yeah.
And then my wife's grandmother's birthday is next. Well, I think it's the week after, but we're celebrating this Saturday coming up. So
there you go.
We're going down to Al's Cafe Saturday.
Ooh, Al's Cafe is good
for dinner. I've never been there before.
Yeah, it's good.
Asked a million times in Bethel Park. Never actually stopped and ate there.
But we'll be back next week to kind of recap some March Madness things. Talk about NFL free agency because we'll be knee deep in it. Any new? I guarantee there'll be some new drama that we can talk about.
Oh, absolutely.
And hopefully I can talk to you a little bit about how my scrimmages went. We'll see. I don't know if we'll get to play this week, but
yeah, hopefully all this snow melts.
I think it'll be melted by Monday.
I think it'll be melted by the end of the day tomorrow, or maybe even the beginning of Tuesday.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to rain? I think earlier in the week too.
No, it's supposed to.
Oh no! I thought it was supposed to rain one day.
Unless it changed.
I thought I saw rain on like Tuesday or something.
No,
it was only like a 40% chance.
I got sunshine all the way until Saturday. And it's, today's going to be 39. Tomorrow's 55. So it'll be all melted tomorrow.
Yeah.
58 Tuesday, 66 Wednesday, 68 Thursday, 69 Friday. A little bit of rain into Saturday. And then Sunday to start next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we'll see. But for Brendan and for Dave, we hope you enjoyed our episode, getting back in the swing of things. Went a little bit over the hour mark today, but covered a lot of good content since we have not been together for 2 weeks. So we will see you next week. See you later.
All right, Dan. Have a good weekend. Hi, everybody. Thanks for listening. For the latest updates on the show and what's going on with Limitless Sports with the BD team, make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube page and follow us on Facebook.